Hey calligraph friends! Today's video is a long overdue one where we'll be walking through how to create your custom color inks from gouache paints. Let's get started!
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars.
Gouache ink is a great way to introduce colors into your calligraphy practice. You can practically create any color of your choice. Here's what you would need to get started. A set of water-based gouache ink. The one that I purchased is from Royal Talens Art Creation. Gum Arabic. This is optional and I'll explain soon why I think it's not mandatory. Please note that there are liquid and powder versions for Gum Arabic. The one that I have here today is the liquid one from Winsor Newton. I heard how powder one is better for mixing powder inks such as Pearl X. Since gouache is water-based, the liquid Gum Arabic dissolved really smoothly. So back to the materials. Small ink jars. Usually 2 Oz should be more than enough. Spoied bottle with water. Brushes. A pen holder with your favorite nib. And some test papers. And this one is also optional, but I would highly recommend you to get these paint swatches from your local hardware store, like Home Depot. These colorful swatches will provide excellent color reference when we start to mix the colors. Plus, what's great about these swatches is that you get to learn interesting names for the color you make. Let's start by making this muted pink color named Bubble Shell. Let's start with the color red. And dab of yellow. To make it more pastel color, let's add white. Let's add water. Milk-like consistency is what we're looking for. I purchased this honey jar because it was so cute. And yet, now that I see, I think the bottle might be too tall for our use. So this is where the swatches comes in really handy. Let's compare if we're making the right color. I can see that we need to mute it down the color, and we need a lot more ink. I've decided to change the ink jar into a smaller container, since it seemed like I'll be needing so much ink to fill up the whole jar. Someone asked me once how I would know which color to mix in order to get the right color. To be honest, for me, it was trial and error. After looking carefully at the paint swatch that I chose, I would simply try little by little, like, it needs more yellow, or a tint of blue, etc. One tip that I would recommend is that try to mix dark color into the light color, because it's an easier fix if you want to make the light ink to be darker, but it takes a lot more ink to make the darkened color to become a lighter color. In other words, you should make the light colors darker little by little. In that way, you'll save so much ink down the road. After making the right color, now you need to test the ink to see if it has the right consistency for writing. Let's test it out. As you can see, this is what it looks like when the ink is too thick. I couldn't achieve the thin hairlines and the ink was too chunky. In this case, just add more water or liquid gum arabic to loosen up the ink. Let's give another try. Still no good. Nope. This feels way better. The ink flowed pretty well and I was able to achieve the thin hairline. Let's test on the black paper this time. I'm loving how the ink looks on black paper way better. What do you think? Let's make another one. Looking at these colorful swatches make me so happy. There are so many colors to choose from. Let's do this vibrant minty green color called Fish Pond. One more tip I wanted to share is that it's a great idea to buy one extra white tube. I was surprised how much ink, especially the white, was used up just by making a few batches of colors. In that respect, I also wouldn't recommend you to go buy an expensive gouache in the beginning, because if you're like me, you'll need to go out and buy a new set real soon. I think it's ready to be tested. I love how vibrant this color looks on black paper, right? So here are all the color inks that I made today. Their name goes Nile River, Future Vision, Amber Moon, Sydney Harbor, Fish Pond, Flannel Gray, Bubble Shell. Please feel free to leave a comment which one is your favorite. As for the gum arabic, they are added to the ink to prevent it from smearing. However, this particular gouache ink from Royal Talens, the ink did not smear even when I did not add any gum arabic. Considering how the gum arabic is quite pricey, I don't think it's necessary to add the gum arabic if you're not doing envelope addressing. Here's a smear test that I did. The first line here was pure gouache without any gum arabic, and I added more and more gum arabic down the line. And as you can see, when I try to erase quite vigorously on the written letters, it didn't make any change. This might be different for other brands of gouache. I guess this particular brand that I used may have added some binding agents already in the factory. So when you make your own, it's always a good idea to test it out. So I hope you found my explorations of gouache inks helpful and fun. Please let me know if you have any questions. I would love to share my thoughts and connect with you. Also, if you could hit that like button and subscribe, it would be much encouraging to your fellow calligrapher. Thanks for watching and happy inking!